what can we say about e-governance? Quite simply put, electronic governance or e-governance is the effective use of information and communication technologies to improve the current governance system and thus provide better services to citizens. We have just seen what is governance, but how can the use of ICT provide the same set of services without any compromises? Towards that effect, e-governance extends beyond provision of online services and covers the use of ICT for strategic planning and reaching developmental goals of the government, or for that matter any organization that is involved in e-governance practices. When we think about e-governance, we further have to think about the purpose of implementing e-governance. Essentially, the purpose is to enhance good governance, which is typically characterized by participation, transparency as well as accountability. Further, the strategic objective of e-governance is to support and simplify governance for all parties, whether they are government, citizens or businesses. E-governance can thus include three core components: e-administration, e-services and e-participation. So, we have seen how from governance we can move towards e-governance. Now, this is not a new idea, this is not a new concept. In fact, with more than 3 decades ago, when there was the IT revolution in India and there were several projects being implemented pan India at a national level, there were several lessons that were learnt. Let us take a look at what some of these important lessons were. So, pan India, when several initiatives were implemented, there are certain important characteristics that came to the forefront. These were: it was felt that there is a need for political ownership at the highest level and a national vision for e-governance for successful implementation of the program. Further, a dedicated team with a stable tenure from within the organization to conceptualize and implement the program down the line is very much required. New areas of public-private partnership in making e-governance possible should be continuously explored. With this kind of exploration, there should also be a defined architecture, standards and policies addressing issues of security, privacy and so on. In addition to these, there is an urgent need to develop the basic core and support infrastructure for e-governance. This includes data centers, wide area networks, physical access points for delivery of government services. All this would be common to all the departments and where the services could be delivered at the doorstep of the citizen in an integrated manner. There is a need to start with small pilots before scaling up. As you know, IT projects take a long time to implement and often there are modifications to be incorporated along the way. Hence the need for pilot projects. But more importantly, issues of re-engineering and management of change are of paramount importance in comparison to any technical issues associated with e-governance. So, please take note of this particular point, which is very much applicable to e-governance even in higher education context. This led to the formation of the National E-Governance Plan of the Government of India with the goal of making all government services accessible to the common man in his locality through common service delivery outlets and ensure efficiency, transparency and reliability of such services at affordable costs to realize the basic needs of the common man. The National E-Governance Plan was approved by the government and it comprised of 27 mission mode projects and 8 components on May 18, 2006. In the year 2011, 4 additional projects: health, education, PDS and posts were introduced to make the list of 27 MMPs to 31 mission mode projects. Almost 15 years back, the National E-Governance Plan was the first comprehensive policy that the Government of India brought forth, and in a mission mode several projects were taken up. This has taken on a new avatar, so to say, in the past few years and has given rise to what we are calling as the Digital India program. Now, Digital India is a program to transform India into a digitally empowered society and knowledge economy. This is a very ambitious program of the Government of India, and it really brings together several isolated initiatives and efforts in the domain of digital transformation of India. Let us have a look as to what the Digital India envisions. There are three important vision parameters of the Digital India program. The first one being that digital infrastructure as a utility to every citizen should be available. Next, governance and services on demand should be available. And finally, this particular initiative aims at digital empowerment of citizens.